I put a teaspoon of sugar to add some sweetness in my hot cocoa while thinking of him. Yes, him. To make my morning be a wonderful day, I'll be thinking of him that I stirred my cocoa to mix up the taste, and there I realized that I was smiling. I looked like a crazy puppy, smiling for my owner who doesn't even love me. Hey Lee Hano, what are you smiling there? My mom teased. I put out the spoon from the cup and tasted it before answering. Huh? Me? Nothing. Am I smiling? I asked, giggling. I dragged a chair from the dining and sat while drinking my hot cocoa. My mom placed a plate in front of me and went to the kitchen to get the pancakes. She was looking at my bare face while giving me a smile. I chuckled. Mom, stop looking at me like that. I chuckled and sipped another hot cocoa. She placed the pancake that's still hot in my plate and sprinkled some maple syrup. I grabbed a slice and ate it. My eyes smiled while chewing it. I looked at my mom and, delicious she, smirked and, who is that special lad? May I know who is he? I chopped what I was eating and looked at her. I went to the kitchen to get some glass of water. I quickly drank the fresh water while my mom was looking at me, waiting for an answer. Amma, I wasn't smiling because of a man. That's so impossible. I've never been in love for about 16 years to be exact, I told her and took another sip. Her eyes squinted and her hands on her waist telling me she wasn't believing me. Are you sure? She said, looking at me. I swallowed. Yeah, is all I can answer. Yes, you're right. I lied. I went back to the dining and continued eating my breakfast. Actually, I'm just trying to escape. My mom knows everything about me. She knows when I'm in love, when I have a problem, and lastly, when I'm lying. Well, of course, she knows me because she's the one who took care of me for 10 years, alone. My father left us when I was 6. He said that he will be back and get us, but she broke that promise that I was hoping he would grant. You're lying, she giggled. Remember the boy you've fallen for when you're in 6th grade? You cried because he is gay, Amma. I didn't know that he's a homosexual because he wasn't speaking and he looked so manly. I just proved that when my classmates tried to put spiders in his locker and he screamed like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, you're right, I told her. She dragged another chair and positioned herself in front of me. She held my hand and smiled. I wasn't asking what happened. I was asking who's the new boy who made your heart flutter again after 4 years. I breathed heavily and finally answered her. He's Jungkook. I think if he's a gay, it doesn't matter to me. Is this wrong, Mom? I love him already. I looked down but I can barely see her face, wearing a smile. John Hano, sounds good, she said. It's not wrong. What's wrong is, if he doesn't love you, like who wouldn't fall for a girl who's beautiful and smart, she added. I smiled and hugged her. Amma, Serengio. I love you, she smiled and put away the plates out of the table and put it in the dishwasher. I tried to help her but she refused. It's okay, you better leave or else you'll get late. I nodded and hugged her again. I grabbed my bag and wore my school shoes and went out of the house. I walked through the streets. It's cold. The fog is still covering the sun. I think I'm a bit early. School is just a few meters away from house, so I'll just walk. I'm taking the bus when I'm near getting late. As I was walking through a street, I saw someone, maybe a meter or two away from me. I can't clearly see who he is because of the fog. I held the strap of my backpack and tried to get closer to him. Think he heard it. I quickly covered my mouth with my pale hands. Tisk.
아, 문자 왔어.
Are you a stalker? He said, getting nearer to me.
어머님이 저보고 사위래요? 잘생긴 사위. 감사합니다.
What do you want? Picture? An autograph? Or maybe a kiss? He positioned himself in front of me and pat my head. I got angry. Do I look like a puppy? Yeah, but that's a while ago. Jungkook is the only one who can make me look like a puppy or whatever that fits me in my expression. How dare this guy I don't even know pat my head as if I'm his pet? Who are you? Stop patting me. Ruining my hair. I shouted. He went nearer and grabbed the strap of my bag that made my body that close to him. He then whispered to my right ear,
Hi baby, I'm Jungkook.
I'm John Jungkook. He then gave me a forehead kiss and left. I stood and didn't move for a minute or two. Or maybe 3 after what happened. That's when I realized that it was him. How can I not recognize his voice from the first place? And that kiss, what was that? Is he trying to kill me? Well, if that's the reason, then fine. He successfully killed. I continued to walk until I arrived safe at school. But I can't erase what happened a while ago in my mind. I entered the classroom and what's in my mind was that whisper and that kiss. I looked at my wristwatch and it's still early, 7 a.m. The sun is starting to shine. The class will start at exactly 8 in the morning. There's still 1 hour to think what's in his mind, why he did that. 15 minutes has passed and what I just think of is that. I let out a big sigh and stared outside from the window. I looked at the students entering the gate of the school. The rich students went to school with their cars. Some students used their bikes to heat them up from the cold weather. Some are like me, no need to take bus. I zoomed my eyes near the seniors building, where Jungkook is, and there I saw the popular group in this school, Bangtan. I can clearly see the very smart Jin, the leader, Namjoon together with the milk-skinned Yoongi. There's the funny trio, Jimin, Hoseo, and Taeyoung. But I can't see him. Where is he? I whispered while my face was sticked in the glass window. My hands were widely spread, touching the window. Who's he? Someone spoke beside me. I flopped out with a surprise and there I saw Ae-suk. She's my friend since 8th grade. She's like my uni. She looked at me and raised a brow. Yeah. Don't you ever surprise me like that? I shouted, feeling my heartbeat. She giggled and, why? Or maybe you're hiding something from me. I laughed and looked at her. No, I'm just trying to find him. I glanced one more time at the window and tried to scan him. He's not there. I saw him a while ago. He's talking to his girlfriend. I got my eyes out of the window and stared at her. I gave her a serious look and she replied, me a shrug. My eyes were near crying, begging her to say the truth, but she just shook her head saying, no. She went to her place and left me standing while my hands are still in the window. Ae-suk. Is this legit? I shouted. She turned her head and nodded that I dropped myself a seat. I can't believe it. He just kissed me a while ago. How can he cheat on her girlfriend? How can he cheat on my feelings? Good morning, Hanol. Jaemin, my lovely best friend, greeted me in the middle of my thinking. I looked at her with my tired eyes and, whoa, you look ugly today, she said worriedly. Ae-suk patted her shoulders. She's broken-hearted. Broken what? Hanol. You're in love with who? She shouted. I stared at her with my eyes saying, wait, you don't know, and she shook her head saying, no I don't, I don't want to talk about these things today, I sighed. Maybe next time. I went outside the classroom and looked at my wristwatch again and it's already 7:40. I've been thinking about him. For how many hours starting with the time I woke up? I closed my eyes for a moment and inhaled. Then, I went to my locker to get my books, still thinking of what happened a while ago and what Suk told me that I noticed someone getting nearer to me but I didn't entertain it. I was busy finding my math book in my trashy locker. He was murmuring something that made me irritated, but I just shrugged them off. Where the hell is her locker? He kept on murmuring. I guess he's giving her a love letter. Ah, how sweet. I wish me too. Sighs. Giving a love letter? I asked, but never gave him a glance. My focus is still in my books. Yes, I can see him rubbing the back of his neck in the corner of my eye. I smiled, gave him a glance. My focus is still in my books. Yes, I can see him rubbing the back of his neck in the corner of my eye. I smiled. Need a help? I asked, getting my math book from my locker. You? He asked. I smiled and looked at him. My tired eyes didn't believe what it just saw. The beautiful creature I was thinking of a while ago, Jungkook. My jaw slowly dropped from its place. My eyes were widely open. I'm talking to Jungkook and now I'll give him a help in giving his love letter. He looked normal. He wasn't shocked. Doesn't he remember me? The one he remember me? The one he kissed a while ago? Are you okay? He asked. That broke my thinking. Yes. Who are you looking at for? Stuttered. He smiled and whispered, Park Suyeon. I nodded and helped him find that Park Suyeon. While finding it, I tried to ask him. I think I saw you a while ago. With a girl. You kissed her at the forehead when you're walking at the street near my house. Is she the one you're looking at? I pretended. I just want to know if it was him who kissed me a while ago. He looked at me and smiled. Nah, just a random girl. Following me and pretending she doesn't. A stalker. She just want my attention. So, I gave her. I just hope she wouldn't tell anybody I kissed her because that's nothing for me. My blood went up. It's nothing to him. He think of what I feel. What is he trying to do? I fell in that trap and what he'll say is it's nothing to him. I'm just a random girl. I looked at him and gave him a look. You're like cheating on your girlfriend then? I asked confidently. No, she's not my girlfriend. My eyes went big and didn't know what to answer. Then you're cheating both of their feelings. I let out a big grief and gave him a dangerous look. Hey, easy. Who are you?